Hey there, folks. Welcome to our GitLab 17.6 release kickoff. I'm Steve Evangelista. I lead our dev and analytics sections here. I'm excited to host today's session. I'm also joined by an esteemed crew who's going to talk about all the great work we've had planned in the upcoming release. We've got Victor Naj, Senior PM, who's going to talk about all things CI/CD. Joe Randazzo, one of our PMs in Govern, is going to cover our security section. Mark Wood, a Senior PM, is going to provide updates on all things core platform. We've got Sam Kerr, GPM, is going to share updates for Dev and Analytics. And finally, Taylor McCaslin, GPM, will wrap us up, taking us through our data science updates. Now, of course, applying our value iteration here at GitLab, we've been focused throughout the year on our four main product investment areas. You've certainly probably heard about these already, things like enabling AI ML efficiencies across DevSecOps. This includes all the ways we're leveraging generative AI to improve the lives of teams throughout the DevOps lifecycle. Driving use case adoption to fully realize the value of the GitLab platform. This is all the work we're doing that focuses on making it easier to get started with the core GitLab solutions across CI/CD, security, and compliance. Differentiating on our DevSecOps platform that encompasses all the ongoing work to make GitLab the best platform for end-to-end DevOps, including continued improvements to source code management, agile planning, SDLC metrics and insights, and of course, strengthening our SaaS deployments and capabilities, which is all the investments in the reliability and scalability of our SaaS offerings, as well as maintaining parity across the various deployment patterns, freeing up users to focus on core SDLC work and strategic initiatives versus things like operating a DevSecOps platform. All right, now before I hand it over to Victor, just a quick reminder of our forward-looking statement disclosure. On this live stream, we will be discussing our roadmap, which includes upcoming features and functionality. Hopefully that's why you're here. It's important to note that the information provided is for informational purposes, so please do not rely on it for planning or purchasing decisions. We plan very ambitiously here at GitLab, and all the details on this live stream are subject to change. The timing of product features and functionality does remain at the sole discretion of GitLab. Okay, with that housekeeping out of the way, let me pass it over to Victor to kick us off.
Thank you. So what do we plan to deliver on in the next milestone in the CI section? First, we are very glad to introduce support for a format that is the standard for code coverage in the Java community and has seen very high user demand in the GitLab issue. Specifically in this milestone, we want to add JCO code coverage support as a generally available feature into GitLab. Another item in the CI section is to add support to large M2 Pro hosted runners for macOS. And together with that, we plan to upgrade our macOS images to macOS 15. That goes with Xcode 16 at the same time. On the CD side, we want to add one item to the agent for Kubernetes and specifically to Kubernetes dashboard, specifically to be able to configure a Kubernetes dashboard from the CI, including the agent and the Flux resources that go with it. This way, making the Kubernetes environments available for dynamic environments as well. These are our highlights. And with this, I pass on to Joe Randazzo to speak about our security plans.
Thank you, Victor. Got a lot of exciting work happening across the sec section right now that provide better security compliance capabilities to our GitLab customers. To kick us off, to start with our security scanning improvements, we have real-time SaaS scanning in the IDE coming with, which will be an experiment mode for VS Code for ultimate projects on GitLab.com. This will allow customers with early vulnerability detection to their source code without leaving their IDE. Now, next up is the composition analysis group. We'll be adding support for exploit prediction scoring system, or EPSS, for dependencies and container images to help teams prioritize risk. In addition, the dynamic analysis team is adding several improvements to DAS scanning, including expanding crawler support, a new check for cross-site scripting, and better logging to improve troubleshooting. And then lastly, the secrets detection team is adding GraphQL and Rust support for secret push protection to programmatically configure those push protection settings across groups and projects. Now, next up is ensuring compliance groups across your groups and projects. The security policy team is expanding support for pipeline execution. That includes adding support to ensure jobs are added in a pre-policy stage which makes sure it's complete successfully before running the remainder of the pipeline. This will support organizations who need to ensure those pipelines are compliant during those workflows. We're also expanding support for scheduled pipelines, meaning this will allow you to enforce CI with a regular cadence when you set up those pipeline execution policies. Next up, the compliance group is building a custom standard adherence report, allowing compliance managers with the ability to create a custom compliance framework within GitLab. Now we're looking at increasing the visibility across the GitLab platform. A few things is the Threat Insights groups is adding the ability to filter the vulnerability report by identifier. What this means is this will allow you to improve the remediation efficiency by helping customers more easily identify and resolve a single vulnerability that exists across many projects in their organization. And then the authentication team has recently released a credential inventory on GitLab.com in 17.5. This is great to have better visibility into those SSH keys and tokens across the platform. In 17.6, we're expanding the support for project and group tokens for better visibility into the group and projects. And then lastly, there are a couple teams setting up the foundation for future capabilities. The pipeline security team is developing a new secrets management solution. So they're developing the backend on that now. And they're currently evaluating how to deploy this solution with self-managed installs. And the authorization team is developing the backend to support fine-grained permissions for job tokens to enhance those security in the CI/CD workflows. That's all for the SIG section. Now over to you, Mark.
Thanks, Joe. So the core platform team is working toward the goal of strengthening our SaaS deployments capabilities through work in the following areas. The Gitly team is continuing to work on enabling Gitly to run in a cloud-native environment. This is really important to our cloud-native deployment opportunities, and it's a great opportunity for us to have an easier installation process for those customers looking to run fully cloud-native. In addition, we are working to update monitoring dashboards to show Gitly pods and staging. This will help us monitor the nodes that are up and running in production and enable us to better monitor how the health of these nodes is actually functioning in production. In addition, the database group continues to make progress around reducing load on the primary database. We are working to move some of the Sidekick workers to working as replicas, and that's really exciting as it will offload the primary Sidekick workers and move them to the read replicas while also identifying additional sources and addressing additional sources of lightweight block contention, while continuing our efforts to upgrade the main and CI databases to PostgreSQL 16 by the end of October, early November. We also have multiple teams engaged in our Cells project as we're moving toward a more scalable architecture for GitLab.com with a higher reliability. The Geo team is continuing work on Org Mover, which will allow us to rebalance organizations between cells. The database team is working to implement a cluster-wide unique database identifier while also assisting with sharding efforts. Finally, the tenant scale team is working toward the ability to route traffic to the correct cell by rolling out Cells Router with pass-through proxy for our internal users. And that's the first step in rolling this out internally for us, and it's a really exciting opportunity for us. Additionally, the core platform team is focusing on enabling AI and ML efficiencies across DevSecOps through the following efforts. The Cloud Connector group is working hard to manage the reliability and stability of Cloud Connector for our customers, as well as componentized authentication by extracting Python authorization logic into a library. Finally, the core platform team is working toward driving use case adoption to fully realize value through the following efforts. The import and integrate team continues to work toward improved user contribution mappings to make importing more transparent to our customers. Alongside of this, we are converting the to-do list to a view app, which will allow for additional notification management. Additionally, they're working toward finalizing designs and notification settings for to-dos. And finally, and one of my most favorite things, the design team is back to work on implementing dark mode following the finalization of a design vision. So that's a really exciting opportunity, and I believe there's a blog post released recently about that if you want more information. Thank you so much. Off to you, Sam.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. A lot of really exciting stuff going on in that section. Excited to see it. Hey, everyone, let me share my screen and I'll talk to you about the dev section and what we've got planned in the coming month. We're working on multiple different exciting projects this month. These all tie to our different annual investment themes. I'm going to walk through a brief selection of them. We've got a lot more stuff going on as well. But speaking about what we're doing for our enabling AI and ML efficiencies across DevSecOps, the first thing we're doing is going to be focusing on improving the quality of code suggestions. We're going to be doing this by leveraging CodeStroll for code completion to provide additional context when making those code suggestions. We're also going to be including reference files or imported files as context for those code suggestions, ultimately to give you a better quality suggestion when we give you one. We're also going to be expanding GitLab Duo to work with Eclipse. We're also going to be refining the experience for both VS Code and JetBrains IDE. This means no matter which editor you choose to use, you're going to be able to have a great experience with Duo as part of it. We're also going to be using GitLab Duo to summarize discussions on work items. You can do this today with issues, and we're really excited to allow you to summarize the discussions that take place on work items as well. Our next investment theme of drives use case adoption to fully realize value. We have a couple exciting things we're focusing on here. The first is remote SAS scanning in VS Code. This is going to let developers stay in their IDEs and be able to identify and address security problems before they commit code. This is going to be much better than having to commit code, find a security vulnerability as part of a pipeline run, make an edit, do another commit, run another pipeline. You'll be able to do all that directly in the IDE in a much more quick iterative process. We're also going to be improving the configuration and persistency for custom value stream analytics reports. We previously had a modal screen, but we'll now have the standalone screen that I'm showing here, as well as adding support for persistent filters that apply to all items in the report. We're going to be adding per user metrics for Duo Enterprise customers. We're going to be doing this by providing you a GraphQL endpoint. This is going to show the usage of both Duo Chat as well as code suggestions usage. We're also going to be enhancing our existing Dora Performers project comparison page. We previously released a version of this page that showed the number of projects on a high, medium, or low scale as they related to primary Dora metrics. We're expanding this existing screen to look something like what I'm sharing on the screen now that shows a project level breakdown of those Dora metrics. This is going to let you quickly understand which projects are performing well and which might need some extra attention. Our third product investment theme that we're going to be aligning with is differentiating on DevSecOps platforms. And as part of doing that, we're making a lot of enhancements to work items. I'll walk you through a few of them. The first one is that we're going to allow you to change the work item type directly within the GitLab UI. We're going to be allowing you to filter the hierarchy widget by status. So you can see the label filter as well as the closed item filter in this mockup. We're going to be allowing you to take an existing work item and create a new work item directly from it. We're going to allow you to clone an existing or move an existing work item as well. And one area I'm really excited for is also allowing you to create basic custom fields to use with work items. And certainly, last but certainly not least, we're also going to be allowing you to add comments to the GitLab Wiki. This is going to allow you to provide an effective give you a place to have an effective discussion, ask questions of your team, and collaborate with them to ultimately allow you to move your projects forward more efficiently. And again, that's just a sampling of some of the great things happening in the dev section this month. We're really excited about them. Hope you are too. And with that, I'll pass it over to Taylor.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Hi, everyone. My name is Taylor McCaslin, and I'm a group manager of product for our data science section. Today, I'm going to walk you through a variety of different things that we're working on. So to start, everything we work on in the data science section supports the theme of enabling AI and ML efficiencies across the DevSecOps lifecycle. Let's start with the AI-powered stage, which helps GitLab build generative AI into GitLab Duo, helping drive productivity and efficiency for our customers. So let's start with a new feature that's gaining a lot of interest from our customers, custom models. We are running towards a GA of custom or self-hosted models for code suggestions and Duo Chat. So the team is working on a lot of testing associated with that. So we are iterating on the various models that are going to be supported. So we'll have support with this GA for open source models from Mistral. So we're testing those right now with code completion. We're testing that with code suggestions. We're testing that with Duo Chat. So all of the Mistral or all of the features on Mistral. We're also adding support for different vendors for hosting these models. So we're testing on AWS Bedrock as well, so that you have more flexible options for how you spin up these models directly within your self-hosted environment. We are also adding support for Azure OpenAI. This has been a popular request for customers who have, for Azure customers who have access to OpenAI models. And we're also in the process of replacing Light LLM with VLLM. This is to make it easier to power and configure some of these open source models with the self-hosted model solution. And then finally, with us approaching GA, we are writing a lot of documentation for all of this to make it easier for self-hosted customers to get started, to get up and running, and to troubleshoot things. So that is an update on custom models. Now let's talk about the next big thing for AI-powered features, Duo Workflow. The workflow team is working on a closed experimental release of workflow for select customers. We're already dogfooding workflow internally with really promising results. We are also working to get Duo Workflow supported in self-managed instances, so that self-hosted customers can have the benefit of running Duo Workflow. We're also working to support those other AI vendors as well. So we're going to have we're going to have Duo Workflow call the Anthropic models that we use using Google Vertex rather than calling directly to the API. We're also going to improve the experience of what happens when an organization has disabled Duo features in a project or a group of projects, making that easier for someone to understand why Duo Workflow can't be used on a particular project. We're also doing end-to-end testing and setting up this so that we have confidence long-term as we develop on GitLab or Duo Workflow. So more stability for end-to-end tests. And then a very popular request, we're making sure that we have audit events for Duo Workflow out of the gate. With these autonomous AI systems, we want to know what they're doing in your system. And so we'll have audit events to be able to track that. So that's your update on Duo Workflow. Next, let's talk about Duo Chat, our multi-turn conversational AI interface. The team is focused on improving the quality of follow-up questions for Duo Chat so that it is more capable of staying on topic and giving you high-quality answers. The team is improving how we test and evaluate follow-up questions. Additionally, we are in the final stages of rolling out the help command to all of the different IDE extensions that we have support for. So this help command is coming to VS Code, JetBrains, and Visual Studio. And then finally, one of the most requested features, Duo Chat, when you pop it open, can sometimes cover your content. And so we're exploring different ways that chat can be resizable, can move around your screen so that you can have a wider chat if you would like, or get it out of the way of content in your left or your right side rail. So look forward to a movable chat. Now let's move to AI Framework, which works on the backbone of our AI abstraction layer, as well as our recently announced features like custom models and Duo Workflow. This team is working to enhance instant response processes for how we troubleshoot and remediate when various large language upstream providers go down, so allowing us to detect issues faster. We're also working on automatic model fallback, so when things do go wrong, we can automatically respond and fail over so that Duo stays up, even when those third-party large language model providers fail over. We're also exploring prompt caching to speed up Duo across the board. We'll see where this goes. And then finally, we're in the final stretches of unifying all of our setup and configuration for Duo. So this is all now moving to a single page rather than being scattered throughout the platform. Here's a preview look of that. So you can configure your seats and your disabled and enabled Duo configurations. That is unique to both SaaS and self-managed. So we haven't forgot about you self-managed. You have all of your unique features in self-managed customized on this landing page as well. So very excited about this in particular. Now let's move to model validation, which helps GitLab evaluate AI models and ensures Duo features have high quality results. We're focusing on automating the way that we test new foundation models. So when new models come out in the market, how do we test them? Right now, this is a very manual process. We want to automate that that to make it easier and faster for us to adopt and evaluate newest models in the market. We're also streamlining how we run evaluations across the platform with our central evaluation framework and our ELI5 project, which will improve how the developer experience for evaluating and testing features works with GitLab Duo, driving efficiency for how we develop these things. We're also building a new LLM judge to support chat follow-up questions so that the large language model can help us understand the quality of responses for follow-up questions. And then finally, we're continuing our support for explain and resolve this vulnerability functionality as that nears its GA. Finally, let's talk about the ModelOps stage, which is focused on helping our customers build AI and ML into your applications. Our MLOps group is singularly focused on the GA of our model registry this release, which includes fit and finish items across the entire experience. There's so many things, I can't talk about them all. We're touching pretty much every page of the model registry. This is exciting for customers to be able to store, version, and manage their AI ML models directly in GitLab. And that is a quick overview of all of the data science features.
Awesome. Thank you, Taylor. Catch your breath. And to all of our presenters, certainly no shortage of exciting features and updates to look forward to. Certainly a few that particularly jumped out to me, in the CI/CD space, hearing about the GA of the Jacoco support is fantastic. The large and M2 Pro hosted runners on Mac OS will surely help, as will those Mac OS 15 images with Xcode 16. And of course, enabling Kubernetes dashboard to be configured from CI via the GitLab agent sounds great. Hearing from Joe in security, the new exploit prediction scoring for dependencies and container images, that's surely going to help teams better understand and manage risk. Expanding support for custom compliance frameworks, helping out our compliance managers out there, all the improvements to the vulnerability report and the recently released credential inventory. Those are great for providing, actionable insights for those teams. And of course, I'd be remiss not to highlight the work on the new secret management solution. And then over in core platform, I certainly can't wait to see progress on dark mode pick back up. I know it's one of those off requested items. Definitely the cloud connector enhancements, providing better reliability and stability there, and all those Gitillion database improvements. Might feel sight unseen, but definitely help ensure kind of reliability and experience for all our customers. Of course, Sam had some awesome things from Dev and Analytics, the Duo code suggestions enhancements. Been a long time coming, including the new model that provides greater context and the great new IDE extensions, experience with quick chat. The SAS scanning inside the IDE, that's one I've heard for ages. Really great to see that start to come together. The many additions to work items functionality, we know that's going to accelerate teams' ability to just work and confidently plan better. And then as a data geek, I'm always stoked for improvements in that area. So the Dora performers updates, awesome to see. I don't know if I can do credit to all the great things Taylor talked about, but certainly a couple that stood out to me were the continued progress on the self-hosted models and being able to support code suggestions and chat in those environments. Of course, I'm super excited about the future Duo workflow, getting some early customers to go hands-on with it pre-release. I know there's going to be a lot of interest in the improvements for unifying those Duo settings, as well as just overall the reliability and quality investments. And of course, the upcoming model registry GA is one I'm stoked to see go live. Of course, that's only a tiny portion of everything we're working on. So don't forget, visit the release kickoff page to get the full rundown. As always, we welcome comments on our issues, engagement with our team. We do strongly value that interaction from our customers and folks across the GitLab community. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And with that, thank you for watching the 17.6 release kickoff. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.